edition of Euro-Asia Stock Exchanges. We are continuing our interview series of Fast Talks, and today I am very happy to have with me a CEO of Republican Stock Exchange Toshkent, Mr. Bekzod Usmonov with me. Mr. Usmonov, thanks for joining me.
Good day, Arminui. Thank you for having me. Finally, we have met, and it's an honor to participate in such a great initiative conducting interviews with class members.
Thank you very much, Mr. Usmonov. Let's start with the strategic things of RSC Tashkent. What are the key strategic initiatives you are having now at the stock exchange?
Right now, despite the fact that there is a pandemic situation all over the world, including Uzbekistan, the public stock exchange Toshkent continues to work on some key strategic initiatives. First of all, it is the privatization process are taking place in a very effective way through our stock exchange. Last year, we have launched a special platform which helps to find potential strategic investors for privatization of big packages of shares. This platform lets receive bids in our stock exchange to identify a potential investor for conducting transaction in a negotiation auction. The main purpose of this platform is to provide absolutely transparency in the selection of potential buyers. Since the launching this platform, 7 companies have been privatized and for a total amount approximately $7 million. Moreover, I'm happy to share that new listing rules will be implemented in the Republican Stock Exchange Tashkent from the beginning 2021. Very soon we will introduce the public the new listing rules, which was created based on experiences of the leading exchanges and adjusting some necessary points to our local market. I have to note that in new listing rules, we mostly emphasize on the providing transparency of the listed companies. In our opinion, transparency is the key factor for attracting investors in our market. Listed companies will be obliged to disclose almost 40 types of information, in addition with information which they have to disclose by law. Also, currently, regarding the acting listing rules, there are only stocks or corporate bonds can be traded on RSC Tashkent. But new listing rules will allow to be listed in other types of securities, such as government and municipal bonds, securities of international financial organizations, and non-resident public companies. Also, we are closely cooperating with ADB on a project which is called Financial Market Development Program. And we have already implemented the Gender Equality Program in our exchange within the framework of cooperation with ADB. Mm-hmm. I should say we became one of the first companies in Uzbekistan which has taken such an initiative. We are planning to sustain current rates where 40% of governing body and also 40% of total percentage of all employees of our exchange are women. In addition, according to our gender policy, it has to be included as a minimum 1 woman till 2022 in the supervisory board. We are open to diverse work environment and promote gender equality in Uzbekistan. Therefore, RSC Tashkent should be an example for our listed companies to take such initiatives.
Great. So you are managing now a big like setup for the better future. So congratulations on that. And
Thank you.
we as FEAS, we are very happy to know that our members are moving forward with the new initiative and new strategies. Good luck with that. And let's
Thank you.
come to the market. In one of your recent interviews, you mentioned that the lack of instrument and the limited choice of them for investors is somehow the issue. So now you are making changes in your listing rules to have another instruments, which is good. What other things you are doing in this regarding this to change? And what are the most active instruments traded in RSE Tashkent recently?
I will begin from second question. As I mentioned it above, in our exchange, stocks and stocks are most actively traded instrument. And these top 10 most liquid instrument has not been changed dramatically over several months. Our leaders in terms of number of deals in last months were stocks of Kazılkum Cement, Quartz, and the shares of commodity exchange and some securities of banking sector. Kazılkum Cement is one of the leading company in Uzbekistan of producing construction materials, mostly cement. 455 transactions were made with these shares last month with a volume of trade approximately $500. I know this volume is not not big, but it is very important for us. Shares of Quartz were also one of the most liquid securities in our exchange. This company is a historical one, which made the first IPO in Uzbekistan. This company is a leading manufacturer in the domestic market for producing the glasses. Median prices of all listed instruments has been increased for 12% over the last months. And I have to mention the investors and traders can trade in our platform from anywhere of the world, and therefore our volumes and number of transactions have not been affected so much from COVID-19, from lockdown. Investors can trade at home using our, we say, the mobile and home trading systems. So, as you probably know, since the end of 2016, under the leadership of our president, Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, government authorities have been undertaking deep economic reforms, including reforms in capital market. Current reforms let our country become too competitive in Central Asia and accelerate privatization process. I can say one of the recent crucial changes in Uzbekistan capital market was the fact that government authorities has accepted the law allowing the limited liability companies to issue corporate bonds. It should be noted that there are 150,000 LLC in Uzbekistan, and whilst only about 600 public companies operation in Uzbekistan. We anticipate enhancing of debt market in Uzbekistan because till now the credits from banks was only source of getting financial sources for LLC, and very soon a big number of companies will be able to raise the capital through issuing bonds. Also, due to the fact that we have a low free float as a 5% in our exchange, government authorities are planning to conduct IPO of the most famous well-known state companies. Government are going to choose the top 20 popular companies to make their shares available for unlimited number of people through the IPO. I think this is also will contribute the increase of free float, which leads to growth our market liquidity.
Great. So you are not working not only on the types of the instrument, but also the widening the spread of the instruments that you have. This is great. Sometimes the market of Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan are being compared, as they are neighboring countries. They're sharing similar history. Both are the members of FEAS, the stock exchanges of both countries. Are there any common initiatives between these two countries and between stock exchanges?
I absolutely agree with you, Erminui. I have also read many articles and heard a lot of opinions which compared our markets. I have to mention that economic reforms which are going in Uzbekistan has been already made in Kazakhstan about 10 or 15 years ago. However, we had the decisions of monetary policy which should have a huge impact on money and capital market in Uzbekistan. The most important step for starting the economic reforms was a decision of liberalization of monetary policy and devaluation of national currency. In reality, before the implementation, we had two exchange rates. The first one is official one, which was approximately 2 times lower than a real market rate. In consequence, the minor number of people was able to convert the money in the sums to US dollars. And the second one was a black market, which reflect the real situation in the market. Right now, there is no any problem for exchanging Uzbek soms to foreign currencies. And therefore, interest of the investors to Uzbekistan has been increased significantly. And as I mentioned above, we must do a lot of work, including accelerating the processes, such as the privatization processes, development of our capital market, and improving financial literacy of our citizens. Answering to your question, in comparison with Kazakhstan, our volume of market is quite small, but considering the fact that our languages, you mentioned about that, our languages, our history, tradition, and even our laws very similar. We are closely cooperating with Kazakhstan Stock Exchange, with KASEP. Our employees are always in contact with them, and KASEP always glad to share the experience. For example, we conduct an event, Day of Issue, on a regular basis, quite successful. We implemented this type of event based on KASEP experience. In turn, we know that investors from Kazakhstan also are following us, and we see the interest in our market.
Great. We love cooperation in FEAS as well, and we very much love cooperation of FEAS members. Coming to the country and the technology. So on a global scale, where is your country standing in terms of implementing new technologies and new trends in the market?
Thank you for your question. I mean, fintech industry in Uzbekistan has been developing very fast over the last years. For example, Georgian TBC Bank has come to Uzbekistan and become the first digital bank in our country. Also, our local commercial banks are doing a great job on implementing new instruments in the banking sector. This pandemic clearly demonstrates that technology is the key to the success. Digital economies are much more flexible and ready to adapt to any changes. You can see the digitalization of so many businesses around the world, and even take a certain number of benefits from these extraordinary situations. Moreover, before the pandemic, Uzbekistan has already taken initiative called 1 million Uzbek coders to teach and give knowledge for young generation in Uzbekistan to prepare web developers. I can say one more time that our trading platform is very competitive in terms of technology, and the transaction are being completed after the matching in milliseconds, and all transactions are made without human interventions. So as you know, as you see, RSA Tashkent is in good conditions.
Great. So we know now about the strategic things, we know about the instruments, the technology, and now coming to the most sensitive part. And this challenging time and pandemic, how are you encouraging your employees to stay positive and to avoid these negative things?
I absolutely agree with you that the whole world is facing the challenges now. And we also had passed a big wave of COVID-19 spread in Uzbekistan. The government had been announced the strict quarantine rules till the 1st August. And 90% of employees at our exchange worked from home. To be honest, I think that we should adapt to new realities and learn how to keep work effectively, staying at home. On the other hand, I'm encouraging my employees to stay positive and take opportunities by staying at home. It's a big chance for us to be with our family and spend a huge time with them. And I have to mention that Secretariat of FIAS is doing a great job conducting seminars and events in online format in the pandemic situation. I think we should take an example from you on how to keep efficiency in these times.
Thank you very much. I am very glad that our activities are appreciated by our members and they are bringing the value of
it. Is true, it's true.
Thank you very much. And the very last question, Mr. Usmonov, in your personal opinion, what the world will look like after this pandemic and what new challenges the humanity will face?
In my opinion, we should learn how to quickly adapt and any condition that we can have in the future. And COVID-19 completely demonstrated. After COVID-19 pandemic, undoubtedly technologies will play more significant role in our life. Now we can see the transformation of all industries in online, and exchange should not be an exclusion. We should create a convenient infrastructure for our investors to invest in security that are listed in our exchanges, and for companies to raise capital in these extreme conditions. Actually, it's not about social distancing, but physical distancing, because we can be in contact and conduct meetings with our partners through certain platforms like Zoom, like Telegram, WhatsApp, and right now cooperation be the important key to success. And if the whole world will face this kind of negative situation jointly, it will be much easier to solve these issues.
Thank you very much for your positivity, and take care. Stay safe. RSC Tashkent CEO, Mr. Bekzod Usmonov. Thank you very much.
Thank you.